guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a first impressions of some new drugstore products, or new to me drugstore products. And I am actually filming a foundation review right now, so I already have the foundation on, so that'll be a separate video, but I'm trying out the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. This is in Bronze Beige, which is medium tan. It's their new foundation. So this is going to be its own review and demo, so I didn't think I needed to demo it right now. I do actually have a new primer, but I didn't use it today because I was doing a foundation review. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Beautifying Primer, the Soft Focus Effect, Long-Lasting, Naturally Illuminating, Even Skin Tone, blah, 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 by Catrice. I didn't use that because I don't know how that performs, and I didn't want that that primer that didn't perform well to impact my review of the Wet n Wild foundation. So I used the Too Faced Hangover RX, just a primer that I know how it acts, I know how it performs under the foundations I love. Having some coffee. Because I needed to get the foundation on and give it a full 12 hours, so I always start these foundation reviews very early in the morning. And if you hear my baby screaming in the background, she's with her daddy and he's trying to calm her, so I'm trying to stay out of it, but she may be joining us. This is a concealer that I want to try. It's Catrice brand all around cover stick, and this is in the shade 030 Sand. And it's not meant to be necessarily an under eye concealer. This is a cover stick, so I'm imagining it's more for spot concealing. And the shade 030 Sand is kind of light. Like, that's the darkest shade they offer though, and I am not that dark. So that's something definitely you need to consider. If you have darker skin than I do, you probably can't find a concealer in this brand. So I'm just going to use my ring finger and tap in that concealer. I feel like as long as you set this concealer with powder, it'll be okay. I have tried this one time, and it was actually pretty nice. I have a new powder, so I'm going to use a different powder to set that so it doesn't crease. I'll use the yellow one by NYX. Taking what's left on that finger and just using it down my nose. So I do have some spots there sometimes. I had a screaming baby, so I decided to finish up half of my face off camera, and now I'm going to do the other half. So last thing I did was I put on that concealer, and then I used the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana, just under my eyes only. Since I'm doing a foundation review, I didn't want to impact the rest of my face and how the makeup held up or anything. And then now I'm going to use the Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base, or I Love Stage, I'm not sure. And this actually surprised me because it's in like a concealer thing with a wand, and I was pleasantly surprised because it actually has coverage. So usually when you use these eyeshadow bases, like, they don't block out like any blue veins in your eyelids, but this one does, so I was excited. And I'm not sure how it holds up throughout the day, like if it like makes your shadows last longer or whatever, but I'm happy that it does hide under eye circles and, like, you know, covers those up, so that's good. Really quick for lips, because it feels weird having lipstick only on half of my lips. This is the Essence Sheer and Shine lipstick in 09, and it's basically just a lipstick tube that's a sheer, like, reddish berry kind of color. Very glossy though. And when I say sheer, it's like, it's not matte, and it's not even like a cream formula. It's like sheer. And I feel like this is going to stain my lips too when it, like, the matte look kind of takes over because it's wearing off. I think it'll still stain pretty, so that's good. Then I use the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This is the one for lighter skin. I purposely used a matte bronzer today because I wanted to make sure that the foundation I'm reviewing isn't impacted. I don't like to use shimmer when I'm doing a foundation review. This is the e.l.f. like angled brush. I'm using that as bronzer and slightly contour. I don't care. It is warm, but it is for lighter skin, so it's kind of a natural bronze. I think it's really pretty. And then I'm taking that up on the hairline as well. And then for blush, I'm using the Essence Satin Blush, and they only have 2 shades in this line, and so it's not really not too hard to pick a shade. I was just smelling. I think this smells like coconut. I think they were trying to do like the Physicians Formula butter bronzer thing, where the smell. But yeah, I'm using this one in Satin Coral. and it's just a really nice light satin finish blush. So this is the Sigma F10, just a powder blush brush. And that on my cheeks. I'm skipping highlighter today because, like I said, I'm doing a foundation review, and I always skip highlighter. It's kind of weird to skip it, but I do skip it when I do a foundation review, just so that I don't have shimmer on my face and you guys think, oh, is that the blush, or is that the bronzer, is that the highlighter, or is that the foundation? So now you know it's all matte. For my brows, I'm using two products. One of them I had used before. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe. This is like my favorite brow pencil ever. Taupe is too light for me, and that's how I like it. I just do small strokes to fill them in. So this brow's done, this one isn't, if you couldn't tell. But I just do small strokes, and I can press pretty hard and use as much of this taupe color as I want. When I finish filling them in with this color, they don't look like Sharpie brows. But then I go on top with the second product, not to give me Sharpie brows. That's not the goal, obviously. But if you think taupe is too light for someone with hair my color, then hold on until you see the second product. It's actually the Benefit Gimme Brow dupe. It's the Essence Make Me Brow, and they only have two shades. They have Blondie Brows and Brownie Brows. And so I bought both because they were only like $2 or $3 a piece. And so I'm going to use the Taupe Eyebrow Pencil by NYX, and then I'm using the dark Make Me Brow Gel Eyebrow Gel Mascara in Brownie Brows. So it's really dark. On top of it, and this does give, like, it's not just a brow mascara, it actually has like the little fibers in it that makes your brows look fuller. I love the Benefit Gimme Brow as a standalone product. I think I use shade number 3, like the medium shade. But if I'm not correct, correct me, but I think that Benefit Gimme Brow comes in 3 shades, like 1, 3, and 5. But the Essence one only comes in 2 shades, and so you can't get medium. So I had to get the light and the dark and see which one I liked better. Okay, so brows are done. Alright, for eyes, I'm using the Essence All About Nudes eyeshadow palette, and this has 8 shades. A few of them are matte. Sorry, there's a glare. I'm trying to not give you that. That's why I'm cutting it off the way I am. But a few of them are matte, but there's a really pretty shimmery shade that kind of underperformed. Not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed. So I'm using the Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, and this is just that matte tannish shade, a pretty standard transition shade. I'm just using that in the crease and slightly above the crease. I'm gonna set this brush aside. I just kind of do like a base layer first, and then I set it aside for later. I'll use it for blending. And then on my lid, I'm using just a flat eyeshadow shader brush, and I'm using this really gorgeous shimmery brown. Now, I thought this was going to be a shimmery brown, but what it turned out to be was like a glittery taupe, and it's light. Like, I'll show you, I'll hold the palette up closer in a second. I'll give you a close-up view of what I thought it was going to look like, because it looks pretty dark, but it doesn't show up that way in the eyes. Okay, so this is the color I'm talking about. Like, when you put it up again, I thought it was going to be super dark. But that's the color I have on my lid right now. And it's not. It's like a shimmery taupey color. So that's fine. So what I did was I packed the brush with color, and then I just used any old setting spray. This is the NYX Dewy Finish setting spray that I just bought. And I got the brush a little wet with that color. And then I applied it again. I think in the future I could use like the NYX Glitter Glue primer thing for my eyes if I'm going to use this shade, because I did get a little bit of fallout on the other eye when I applied it. It's okay. Not the worst, but the glitter kind of fell. So if I was thinking ahead, I would have used a glitter primer to help it adhere and not fall to my cheeks. Okay, for the brow bone, I'm just using the off-white color, and that is a matte or satin color. This is the Sigma E30 pencil brush. And then I'm going into the shimmery off-white. It's like a champagne-y color right next to that one, for the inner corner of the eye. And I take just a dab of that right under the brow bone. So the eyes are shaping up, and then I used, this is the Real Techniques 201 brush. It's like a pointed brush. I'm using the darkest brown in this palette. I found that these shadows kind of underperformed. They underwhelmed me. they don't really, they blend away to nothing. And I'll show you what I mean. So I've got that outer V pretty nicely defined, right? Like, I'll go more, I'll go heavier. But as you can see on the other eye, once I blended, that definition, I did it the same way, just like completely disappeared. So, like, you just have to not blend as much, which is fine if that was the case, but they just kind of like, when I did this, I'm not even going hard. I'm holding the brush at the end, okay? So I'm not putting very much pressure. I just lightly went over it, and it's like my outer V definition completely gone. Like, hey, I just spent, 2 minutes doing that, and then it like is gone. So I'm using this like medium brownish shade here on a Sigma E34 domed utility brush, which the word utility in makeup just makes me laugh, but okay. I'm just using that right underneath the lower lash line. And then I'm touching up that lid shade again since I blended, just to make sure it's nice and pigmented. Alright, so that's about as good as I'm going to get with these eyeshadows. I'm just going into that tan shade from the transition, making sure that's nice and blended one more time. Alright, so for liner, I am using the Essence eyeliner pen. It's waterproof, a black pen on the upper lash line. Alright, and then for mascara, another Essence product. I do have the new L'Oreal Voluminous or Lash Paradise, whatever it's called. But I am not using that today. I'm going to be doing an Essence one brand tutorial, a L'Oreal one brand tutorial, and maybe even a NYX one brand tutorial. I also want to do like another haul. I've been picking up a lot of drugstore makeup lately. And then, so those will kind of be spread out. I still had some videos from before the baby was born. She was born May 23rd. I still had some pre-filmed videos to go up, and here we are in July. I was like, oh. Because when I put up a new video, I like don't always go back and look to see what I haven't published from my old stuff that I had ready already. And so things have like jumped in line ahead of the old stuff. I'm like, oops. So there's some videos coming out where I'm still pregnant. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's 6 weeks old now. That's okay. Alright, so that's it for the eyes and pretty much the face. So I would use the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray all over my face right now, since I just bought that in this haul, but I don't want to because, like I said, I want the foundation to be reviewed fairly, have an open shot. So standouts from the line, I think the mascara is really nice, and I like this lip product. I wasn't able to find it on the NYX website anymore, but I got it on the Ulta website anymore, but I did get it in store recently, just this week, so you should be able to find it in store if they don't have it online anymore. Hope it's not discontinued because I really like it. I like the foundation, so I'll show you that in the full foundation review. I'm thinking about doing like a whole week of foundation reviews because right now I have 3 filmed. I thought that might be kind of fun to just do like 3 in the same week. Would you guys prefer I do that? Like 5 eyeshadow tutorials this week, 5 tutorials for 5 foundation reviews in 1 week. Do you guys like that idea, or would you rather me like mix them in here and there, like 1 a week for the next 3 weeks, Just let me know in general for the future too, if I ever have like multiples of the same kind of video, if I should like do a week of them. Because I've seen like that Taylor, I think that's how you say her channel name, she does like 15 days of foundation or whatever, where she tries out a new one every day, and I like that. I think it's kind of fun, but let me know down below in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Press the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified when I publish a new video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.